know that at some point in Korea's history, you can't marry someone with the same last name? In most places, meeting someone with the same last name might lead to a joke like, hey, maybe we're cousins. But in Korea, that joke could cost you a wedding. For decades, Koreans weren't allowed to marry someone who shared both their last name and ancestral clan, even if they weren't related in the slightest. This was thanks to a law passed in 1957 called Article 809, which was heavily influenced by Confucian values. The idea was to avoid marriages between distant relatives, but there was one big problem. Korea doesn't have a lot of last names to go around. So if your name was Kim, Yi, or Park, well, good luck finding a date your grandma would legally approve of. When it's just a name wasn't enough. This rule wasn't just annoying, it was downright tragic. In 1977, a young couple in love took their own lives because they couldn't legally marry due to having the same last name and clan. Their heartbreaking note said, we chose death over a breakup. The story shook the nation and sparked public outrage. Women's rights groups weren't having it. They organized protests, run support groups, and marched with signs basically saying, let Kims marry Kims. A few exceptions were granted over the years in 1978, 1986, and 1995, but the law itself remained stubbornly in place. Then, in 1996, another devastating case made headlines. A man named Kim Jong Kyung took his own life after facing family resistance to marrying Kim Jong Ok. She tragically passed away shortly after trying to save him. Once again, the country was reminded that this wasn't just a legal technicality, it was ruining lives. The law meets its match. Fortunately, in 1995, Korea's constitutional court finally stepped in and said, okay, enough is enough. They ruled Article 809 unconstitutional and gave lawmakers until the end of 1998 to revise or remove it. Until then, the law was put on pause, which was great news for the 60,000 couples who had been waiting years to get legally hitched. Women's rights groups celebrated. One called the law poisonous and outdated. And honestly, that's putting it nicely. By 2000, the Ministry of Justice submitted a bill to finally update the rule. And in 2005, cue the confetti cannons, the ban was officially lifted. So what's the rule today? Nowadays, Koreans can marry someone with the same last name and clan, as long as they're not closely related. The current law only blocks marriages between people who are within 8 degrees of blood relation or 6 degrees by marriage. Translation: if your family tree needs a flowchart to explain your relationship, it's time to check with the registry office. Otherwise, go ahead and send those wedding invites. I guess what started as a traditional way of protecting family lineages turned into a modern love blocker. But after decades of activism, legal challenges, and really, really sad heartbreak stories, Korea has finally said goodbye to one of its most outdated marriage rules and regulation. So yes, two Kims, two Parks can now actually marry each other and argue where to order takeout for the evening. So romantic. But definitely progress. All right. Let me know what you think. I hope that you learned something from it. Leave them in the comment section below. As always, you can say whatever it is that you want to say for as long as you say it respectfully. Also, please follow me on X, on Instagram, and more importantly, please join us in Patreon. It is a vibrant community. We talk about not just music, but also movies, TV shows, current events, and sometimes we just have fun. I'll see you there. Bye.